Okay, good morning. We're going to do a few more author talk shorts, and I've been explaining that it's like a mini video, and so I want to welcome Dr. David Schein and the team. So this is the marketing PR team, including Amy that works with me and Elena and Rachel that work with David. So welcome everyone to this Author Talk short. And of course, our star for the moment will be Dr. Schein, because we're going to be asking him the questions. And Dr. Schein is the author of The Decline of America, 100 Years of Leadership Failures. But we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about COVID-19 and the effects that it's having on the city of Houston and the employees, the small businesses. One of the things that David does, he's a professor at the University of St. Thomas, and he's also worked with small businesses, entrepreneurs in a lot of different ways. So David, explain the order that we just had for Harris County and what effect that will have on businesses.
Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate the introduction and glad to talk about what is going on with COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of concern, and part of it is that the various government and medical entities do not actually know what is the best thing to do. So it's disconcerting because it does seem that we don't have a clear consensus as to the best way to respond to the situation. There's been very serious problems in Seattle and in other cities on the West Coast. This New York City is in very, very serious condition, but it does seem that there have been some miscues or serious overreactions. One of them may or may not be the stay-at-home, work safe order that came out from the Harris County judge yesterday morning. But basically the idea is that you can't spread the virus if you're hunkering down in your house, as we say here in Texas. And so everybody's supposed to stay home. Now, the enormous problem with this is that there are no regulations. And in fact, the order itself, as of last night, was not on the Harris County website itself. And I did want to mention a resource. If someone actually wants to look up the official list, which came from the Department of Homeland Security, it is under the link CISA, 4 letters, CISA.gov, is the official website from the federal government listing what they consider to be essential industries which would not be covered by a shelter-in-place order. And as I understand it, Harris County basically has adopted the CISA list, though I don't recall construction being on that list, but they've added construction. And so it's almost humorous to see who's on the list and who's not, except that this has had a devastating effect on the American economy. And one of the things that it depends on, unfortunately, a political view, but one of the either applause or criticism of President Trump has been that he has announced that he is hopeful that these extreme limitations will be able to be relaxed by Easter. So I think what we're going to see is, I do think that Harris County will come off the restriction. One of the things is it will be 90 degrees here today. The viruses, in fact, the flu itself, largely is spread when people are locked indoors due to winter conditions. And so with 90 degrees here in Houston, our environmental conditions are such that it is less likely to continue to spread. Most germs and viruses are heat sensitive. I don't know, but 90 degrees is pretty hot in most people's book. So I do think Houston will be under restriction for a shorter period of time. The Big Apple, New York City, is certainly one that most people are red circling and saying New York City, where of course people live in a very compartmentalized structure. Houston is famous as not just a large city, but a large flat city, meaning that people are not especially stacked on top of each other in a day-to-day existence.
That's
So
true
with
because we're really spread out
precisely.
geographically and everything, as well as the number of people. So, well, David, that's great. So we're going to take that as this is what's going on in the Houston Harris County with regard to COVID-19, the coronavirus. And so we're going to say goodbye to you for now, and we'll bring you back on for another Author Talk short later. Does that work?
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much.